Hey guys, late night talks in the dark with me, your girl Nikki, and I was just watching a video talking about, is it time to shun your family and friends for supporting Trump and this regime, you know? Well, I can tell you for me, uh, I shunned people who supported him when he ran the first time. Those people were out of my life. Um, and I've never looked back. And I don't think you should either. And in the video, the person was talking about how, it's kind of our responsibility to like help pull the wool that's been pulled over their eyes, help them pull it off. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. My brother-in-law kind of believes the same thing. He still has Trumpy friends. And that's because he thinks that he has a good influence on them. And maybe he does. I don't know. He's a good guy. He treats people fairly, my brother-in-law. He's very caring. My husband is the same way. Not that he really has any Trumpy friends, but he does know some of his brother's Trumpy friends. And he is just as nice and kind to them as his brother is. And that's because they both believe if we show them kindness and are good to them, and maybe they'll listen to us and hear us out a little bit more. And listen, I don't fault anybody who wants to do that. That somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to do it. So I don't fault anybody who feels like they have a responsibility of maybe helping them pull the wool from their eyes. I respect that. I respect my husband for that. And, I don't know how my brother-in-law does it, but I respect him too. A couple of his close friends are supporters. And, he's known them for a long time. Especially one of them is his son's uncle. And so they've been close for forever. And he doesn't let that get in the middle of their friendship. And he hopes that by being kind and loving towards them still, that they'll see a different perspective, that, all lefty liberals aren't, crazy and whatever they say about us, who cares, right? I don't give a fuck. But I'm not of that mind. And I would never tell anybody not to be of that mind. If you feel that your presence in somebody's life could help open their eyes, then by all means do that. Because if it's best for people to wake up, it's best for people to open their eyes. I just don't have the patience for that. I do not have the patience for that. I cannot listen to Trumpies. I cannot listen to their weird circular definitions of things. I just cannot listen to the insanity that they spew. They're incoherent, and I just cannot talk to them. And because I know what they support, I cannot have them in my life. I have cut family out, and I will never talk to them again. Ever. I could live to be 90 years old, and I will never talk to them again. Because there is no room in me for forgiveness for them. To stand idly by and be okay with the things that are happening. The things that are happening in Minnesota and with ICE. And it's not just Minnesota. ICE is in other places too. So they're okay with that. And I'm not. And I can never be okay with that. I don't know their thoughts on the Epstein files because I have not spoken to them and I will not speak to them. But something tells me they're probably diehard and probably still supporting him. Yeah. Something tells me that. Because they are so far down crazy rabbit holes that I don't have the patience to try to drag them out of that. I just don't. I just hope that someday they will see the light and they will offer some penance up. And I don't mean that in a religious way, just they'll do something to make their karma right. I don't know. But it's not my problem. So here's the thing. If you feel like you need to shun people because they support this, do it. You don't owe them anything. It's not your responsibility to help people see the heinous things that are right in front of their eyes. How can you make them see it any clearer than what they see in front of their eyes through what people videoed? It's right in front of them. How can the words you say out of your mouth make them see more clearly than actual video of people being murdered? They twist themselves into pretzels trying to explain why they deserved to be murdered, or why they deserved to be hurt, or why they deserved to be maimed. So I can't let anybody like that in my life. I cannot do it. That you would twist yourself into pretzels to try to make somebody the perpetrator when they are the victim. I can't do that. And so the thing with the Epstein files too, I mean, anybody who's still on board with this regime after seeing the things that they've seen, which, here's the thing, they will tell you that this is all photoshopped, none of this is real, it's AI, blah, blah, blah. Not about anybody who identifies as a Democrat. All those pictures are real. All those emails will be real. All those phone calls will be real. All that is real. But anything that anybody who is remotely related to this regime in any way, they will all be set up. This is a setup. It's a witch hunt. It's a hoax. It's fake news. It's alternative facts. It's not real. But it's real for the Democrats. Clinton definitely is guilty. But dear leader is not. Okay. So he's in the Epstein files like 5,000 times. Where there's smoke, there's a blazing fire. So if you got to shun people, don't feel bad about it. And don't feel like it's your responsibility. I don't care if they've been friends with you since kindergarten. I don't care if you've known them since before you even started school together. Okay? If they support this heinousness and this insanity, there's no room for them in your life. Just like there's no room for any of them in my life at all. So if you feel like you got to shun people, shun them and don't feel bad about it, because they deserve it. They've earned it. They've earned the shunning. Someday there's going to be a horror movie made after this called The Shunning. The Great Shunning. But people should be shunned. They should not be allowed to come to family gatherings, weddings, anything like that. They should not be rewarded or included in any way, because, hey, I don't want that energy around me. If you can look at what's going on and be like, I'm cool with that. Listen, I don't need your energy around me. I just don't. And I don't want it around me. And you don't either. You got enough going on trying to keep yourself sane and trying to keep yourself grounded and keeping yourself going day to day, living life while everything is burning down around you. He's like fucking Nero up on the hill playing his fucking violin as he watches fucking Rome burn. Meanwhile, I don't think that really ever happened, but we all know that story, don't we? About Nero playing his violin as Rome burned. And, it's also said that Nero started the fire so he could grab that land and make a big statue of himself and a palace and, sounds pretty familiar. Ballrooms and whatnot. So shun away, my friends. Shun away. Let it be the great shunning. And shun those motherfuckers right out the door. Block them everywhere. Don't answer their call. Block their numbers. There's no reason for you to have any communication. If you can read these Epstein files, I'm haunted by the story of the calendar girls at Mar-a-Lago. If you haven't read that story, I can't talk about it. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just letting you know. Go look for it. And if you can read it for yourself, that's all you need. That's all you need. Everybody's talking about how come they're not releasing the rest of the things. And they should. They need to release everything. Absolutely. But here's the thing. What has been released is more than enough. But phone calls, email chains, pictures, money trading hands. This is evidence. And it's not like crappy evidence. This is good, hard evidence. This is the kind of evidence, if I was on a jury, I would look at and go, this is real evidence. Phone calls, emails, the things that are said in the emails. Way back when they released some files earlier and Epstein referred to Trump as a monster. When a monster refers to you as a monster, you are a bigger monster. So anybody who can gaze upon anything that's been going down with ICE, with Kristi Noem, that dog-killing hoe, bovino, which, by the way, bovino means bovine, which means cow. Ugh. Yeah. I almost feel bad for cows having to be associated with that less than human being. The irony of them calling everybody else animals, and they're the ones who act the most like vicious animals, like mad, rabid dogs. That's how they behave. But everybody else is vermin. These are the things he said. These are the things Dialita has said. He has referred to people as vermin and rats, just like Hitler. So yeah, shun. Shun away, my friends. Shun them right the fuck out the door. Shun them right the fuck out of your life.